All right, I'm here to introduce you guys to the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail. But before we go into what the actual adventure trail is, I figured I'd give you a little bit of history about myself and motorcycles and why I came up with this idea to create this route. So I've been riding since 1983, which is 41 years now. And I've always been fascinated with traveling on my motorcycle. I do enjoy just getting on the bike and going for short rides here and there, but I really like to get on my bike and just travel, go different places. And for the first 30 years, really been 100% pavement traveling. Sport bikes and sport touring bikes have always been my, my thing. I've never been into the cruisers or dirt bike riding, just basically getting on some high performance sport bikes and taking off. 2004 is when I first found the TV series Long Way Round with Charlie Borman and Ewan McGregor. And when I watched that first series, I just completely fell in love with that type of riding. I've always been fascinated with bikes like the KLR 650 and the original Paris to Dakar BMW that came out like in 88 maybe, but I never really got into that kind of riding. And watching Charlie and Ewan travel all the way around the world, going to places like Far Eastern Russia, Mongolia, Alaska, it was just fascinating. And watching them travel on those dirt roads in the middle of nowhere was just something that really spoke to me, and it really kind of like started this desire to get out there and find these adventures. Now, to travel to Alaska or Russia or Mongolia, it takes a lot of time and resources, and not everybody can do that. So, I started looking at like local adventure riding. And I found out there are things like the Puppy Dog Route in Vermont. There's the Trans Mass Trail in Western Mass. And then the BDRs kind of came into play and became popular. And that was fabulous. You can download these GPS files and you can go out and follow them and just find some really interesting roads and places to go. So in 2021, I was doing the MA BDR. The one thing I was thinking about while doing the MA BDR is most of these routes that you can grab off the internet, download, and put into your GPS are destination rides, point A to point B. To the end of it, you need to get home. And the other thing that I was kind of disappointed with is there wasn't really a lot of choices for gas stops, food stops, hotel stops along these routes. So after doing the MA BDR, I decided that I was going to come up with my own route. And that's where the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail was born. I had a really vast knowledge of roads in New England. I had started to do a lot of adventure riding and finding dirt roads in the middle of nowhere. I thought, you know what? I'm going to put together a route that's going to be a loop ride. You don't have to start at one end and finish at the other end. It's going to be a loop. A series of dirt roads that are strung together through a GPX file. And there's also some roads on the Piccadilly that come from the BDR. They come from the Trans Mass Trail. They come from the Puppy Dog Trail. So I've taken a little bit of all of those resources and also sprinkled in some of my own little favorite back roads that I'm sure if you live in the area you know about, but people may not know about these. Primarily in central and western Mass. It does dip a little bit into Vermont on one section and a little bit into New Hampshire on another. So it's 500 miles long. It's broken down into 4 sections. So if you want to start at the beginning of section 1, which is the Summit of Mount Wachusett in Westminster, Mass, and follow it for 4 days, it's going to bring you right back to the Summit of Wachusett Mountain in Westminster, Mass. After 500 miles. So, but you can grab the route at any point along it. But if you want to take your time and explore, stop, get off the bike, and take some pictures. I came up with the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Route, or the PPAT. Was I wanted something that was going to be big bike friendly or new adventure rider friendly. So you don't necessarily have to have a big bike. You can do it on a little bike, like I have a Honda CRF 300 Rally. I also have a Triumph 1200 Tiger Explorer, and I've done almost all of the roads on both of those bikes. I even just picked up a beautiful little CT 125 trail that I plan on taking on the Piccadilly this coming year. So you don't have to have a small dirt bike, dual sport. You don't have to have a big adventure bike, but you can do it on all of those. I would definitely say that this route is big bike friendly, novice friendly. There are sections that might be a little bit challenging for someone who's on a big bike or less experienced, but I think for the most part you could do pretty much every single part of the regular Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail on any adventure bike, especially a big bike. Now, hard sections that are listed, and they're a separate track, so if you want to challenge yourself, you can put those on, and while you're following the route, they're going to be a separate track, so you won't do them by accident. You'll have to plan to do it. Short sections of kind of hard little roads. Nothing that you really need to be a quote unquote expert for, but there's some good challenging roads if you want to challenge yourself. The other thing that I thought was going to be very important with creating a route like this is giving you interesting things to see along the way. Plenty of waypoints for gas stops, rest stops, take a break. There's tons of great restaurants listed on the file as separate waypoints. And there's also plenty of places to pick for lodging along the route. And not only just at the beginning and the end of sections. What I did is I sprinkled hotels and restaurants throughout the entire route. Some of them are right on the route itself. Some of them you might have to go off route for 5 or 10 miles to find a good restaurant or a nice place to stay. So no matter where you decide to get on the route, you will have opportunities to find a place to stay and a place to eat and a place to fill up. So this past summer, the summer of 2023, I asked two of my good friends, Dave and Ken, to help me finish up putting the route together, pre-riding all the roads, and find different places. Check out the hotels that are available, the restaurants, gas stops, and things like that. So we just spent the whole summer of 2022 kind of pre-riding the entire thing. And I believe it was probably around September 1st when I officially announced the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail. Now you can see that every time I say that, it brings a smile to my face. And you might be thinking, where the heck did that name come from? Well, when I created the route, I was trying to come up with a good name for calling it, so people could Google, Western Mass Adventure Ride. I had come up with a whole bunch of different names, and nothing really had stuck out. And so when I originally posted a screenshot of the route and posted it to the New England Sport Touring Facebook group, just kind of letting people know that I've come up with this idea for this route, friend Ken said it looked like a pineapple laying on its side, just the outline of the route. And I guess that just kind of stuck. So we were riding it and we were talking about names, and he just came up with Piccadilly Pineapple Trail. And I was like, that's actually a funny name. We decided that while we were pre-riding the route, we were going to refer to it as the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail. See, it does bring a smile to your face. Or the PPAT, PPAT. And that was going to be its code name. And once it was done and released, I would have come up with a normal name, Western Mass Adventure Ride or something like that. And but we would always kind of refer to it under the code of the Piccadilly. So we were doing a lot of these pre-rides on Fridays, and we had named them Pineapple Fridays. Over time, it just kind of stuck. And and then it was like we were just calling it the Piccadilly Pineapple all the time. I decided that was the name. It was going to be the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail. And so here we are. So, where do you get the GPX files? Or how do you go about doing the particular ride? Well, right now, the easiest way to find the GPX file is to go onto Facebook and join the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail Facebook group. And once you're there, there's a tab for files, and you can download the GPX files. I created the route in Basecamp, so it is saved as a Basecamp GPX. So there is a page on newenglandsporttouring.com where you can read about the Piccadilly, and has a link to the Facebook group there. So if you're on Adventure Rider, the message board, you just search Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail, and there is a spot on there with the files. And lastly, drop a message in this YouTube video, or I'll put my email on there, which is oldstonejim@gmail.com. Send me an email and I'll send you the file. So finally, I wanted to say that I created this particular route to share with everybody. Like I said, I've been motorcycle riding for 41 years. And in my circle of friends, motorcycle friends that I've had over the years, I've always has helped people with finding a good road to ride, going to a neat place for breakfast, or putting together even a week-long journey down to the tail of the dragon or somewhere else in this great country. And it's always been my desire to share as much about riding with all of you out there. I want more and more people to get out there and enjoy it. I want to make it as easy as possible to be able to do that. I've taken all of that and created this fantastic ride that you can go out, hop on your bike, and go out and enjoy. In closing, I'm happy you watched this video. If you have any questions, certainly drop a comment down here. I'll answer every question you have about this. Before you know it, spring will be here, and you can get out and ride the Piccadilly Pineapple Adventure Trail.